Well, hey everyone, and welcome back. It's Gina from orchidandopal.com, and today we are going to be opening up the brand new Berry Frost Beads collection by Eureka Crystal Beads. One of my favorite things to open up here with you guys is their collections. As a reminder, these are not a subscription, so by picking one up today, you're not going to be starting anything like that. It's a one-time purchase, and they've put so much thought into all they've included in their collections. Everything's really color coordinated. And once we get everything out, I'm sure we're all going to be a bit more inspired to get some ideas and create based on what's inside this package. So without further ado, let's go ahead and open it up. Right, and these make great gifts for anyone you know who likes beading, so keep that in mind. And here is a sneak peek of what we have included. I'm seeing a lot of contrast with some bright reds down here, some whites, some icy clear, a little antique gold, and some blue accents. So that should be really interesting. Definitely a unique collection that they've put together once again. There's the gorgeous picture that goes along with the theme, so you can see what kind of inspired them as far as the color palette. That's so gorgeous. Not to mention very appropriate for this time of year. And then I love reading the inspiration behind the collection. I think it helps to get us in the mood for what we're about to see. It says the world is asleep in quiet, wrapped in icy blues and soft whites, every detail sharp and still in the winter chill. Yet cutting through this frozen calm, a burst of vivid red emerges, bold, resilient, and alive. These bright accents tell a story of life persisting, of warmth glowing against the cold, the two realms intertwining and coming together to create beauty. Let these colors inspire you, cool serenity, touched by fierce, vibrant hope. That's beautiful. All right. As per the usual, we have our list of materials, the SKU numbers that you can pop into their website and search up the specific color names of everything we're about to see today. Everything's organized in its usual way, so we can keep track of all the beading goodness that's inside. We're going to start with our seed beads, the usual high quality Miyuki and Toho beads that they include, which are so versatile and wonderful for all sorts of beading projects. We're also going to see a number of Czech glass beads, also some multi-hole shapes, Krakovski, Preciosa, and Chinese crystal, and then we'll wrap it up with some findings. So if you'd like to pick up one of these collections, I'll have the link to it listed right down below the video in the description section. It'll take you right to it on their webpage. And sometimes these collections sell out pretty quickly. So if you'd like to get your hands on one, go ahead and pick one up if possible. And also while you're there, have a look at some of their past collections, some of which may still be available and are great to combine together. All right, so here are our seed beads. First of all, pick up, here's items 1 and 2. These are tubes of Miyuki round seed beads, both the 15 and the 11-0. There's 10 grams included per tube. This is a wonderful classic antique gold or antique brass option, a little bit shiny and something that goes with pretty much anything. But I really like how they've incorporated that neutral to go along with those stark whites and also the red and pops of blue. Up next, we have 2 tubes in the Toho variety. We have some 11-0 seed beads in a sky blue Ceylon type of finish, kind of satiny. And then this frosty clear size 8-0, getting a little bit larger, with a hint of a rainbow finish that you can see very lightly on the outside. Definitely looks icy to go along with our inspiration photo. And as usual, I love that they've incorporated several different sizes of these seed beads. That's super helpful. And our last tube in that section, we have some Toho treasures. These are similar to the Miyuki Delica beads. You can use them interchangeably. And as you can see, they are cylindrical, so they pop together so nicely. Great for bezeling and different projects where you need things that are really uniform. So this variety looks to be a clear with a white lining, another icy option. All right, our next section is the Czech glass, and we've got 3 bagged items plus the 2 tubes. I'm going to go ahead and take these out, but I wanted to show you how everything is packaged individually, safe and sound. It looks like we've got a couple of different strands of the round druck beads. Those you can use in place of pearls or any round bead. They are uniform as well. And let's take a look at those up close. So our first pops of this bright cherry red, just like those berries in the inspiration picture. I like that there is a little bit of translucency. These let some of the light through. They're not completely opaque, and both the colors go very well together. You can see we've got the strand of 2mm, very small rounds, plus a strand of the 6mm rounds. I could definitely see these going together in a project really nicely. Here's our third option in that selection. We've got some 6mm fire polish rounds in another icy option with a slight rainbow finish that makes these look like they're glowing a little bit on that matte clear, very neutral, but something that also could pick up some other colors depending on what these are arranged with. And then our really fun 2-hole bead shapes. This time we have a tube of the 2x5mm Czech glass super duos, and we have a tube of the 2-hole ginkgo leaf shape in a 2.5-inch tube. Let me go ahead and take these out and we can look at them together. So gorgeous, aren't they? I love that blue that the ginkgo leaf shape has, and they have a bit of a luster coating, which makes them look a little bit more shiny and glossy. The Super Duos, they're just a basic white, but they do have a satiny appearance. All of these being very uniform. And if you're not familiar with as many 2-hole bead projects, you can definitely stay tuned to Eureka's YouTube channel. Make sure you sign up to their newsletter, because they are excellent about providing super fun projects that go along with their collections. And they've got tons of past projects, even some from my channel, on their website that you can go back and look up that include bead shapes like this, and maybe some other ones you have in your stash that you'll be inspired to pull from. All right, guys, next is one of my favorite sections, and that's where we get into the crystals, especially the crystal stones that are so sparkly and delicious to look at, especially up close. We're going to start with their brand, the Krakovski crystal. We've got 3 selections of stones and then one of their outstanding long lengths of beautiful pearls to look at. So let's get started with some of these stones. First, we're going to take a look at the 8mm chatons, and this color is absolutely stunning. Oh my goodness, I feel like I want the whole range of this color, whatever they have to offer in this color and the stones. I just love it. It's a really gorgeous icy blue with also some vibrancy. The enamel coating is wonderfully done. Everything's very uniform and cleanly cut. Just look at those. So beautiful. Can you handle these stunners, these 3 stones? So fiery. It's like we've got the fire, we've got the ice, great contrast, but look at those glistening teardrop shaped stones, all of the gold and even a little bit of orange showing up in some of those reflective surfaces. It's just beautiful, but overall that very vibrant cherry red, and a perfect setup here for a pendant and maybe a coordinating pair of earrings. I can see those lovelies with some of that antique gold seed beads surrounding those, and the contrast of the white and a little blue could be so elegant. So the smaller ones are the 10x14s, the larger one is a 13x18. And also just want to remind you of the many different stones and things that are also on their website. So everything here, pretty much you can go on their site. They've got all sorts of different colors. You're welcome to purchase anything outside of these collections. You just get the materials at more of a discount when you purchase them all together like this, but they have a wonderfully stocked online store that is so fun to peruse if you have some time. And last up for the Krakovski section, this is that strand of pearls I was telling you about that is really long. It contains 100 pieces. These are their 4 millimeter size, and it's just another color that is so gorgeous and really works well with the collection in the shade of a light blue. Also, that extra sheen and luster on the coating makes these really eye-catching, a little extra shiny, and it brings in another shade of this really refreshing color to work with. All right, so in our Preciosa section, we have one item. This is a strand of an absolutely stunning array of sparkly 3 millimeter crystal bicone beads. It's a strand of 42. They are so delicate, perfectly cut, and include a little bit of that AB coating. You can see the metallic flashes of a rainbow of colors, adding to the details of these beads as I move them around a little bit under the light. So shimmery and icy. And then to add some additional sparkle and bulk to the collection, especially in the crystal section, we have two strands of the Chinese crystal. These are both the 3 by 2 millimeter rondelle beads, and generally they have around 100 pieces per strand. You're going to find a few more imperfections in the Chinese crystal strands. Don't let that scare you off, though. They are still fantastic beads to work with and incorporate, and you get more bang for your buck that way, especially in a smaller bead that's faceted like this. They are still so gorgeous, and you can see we've got the opaque white with a bit of a luster and AB coating, along with some of the transparent red. And these are another shape, I think, along with seed beads that are just so versatile. And because of their size, you can often swap them in place of some other beads of similar sizes and shapes. And they're also really handy when you need a higher quantity for some of those more bead-heavy projects. And from the list, it looks like we've got some Gleam Craft, which is their new range of findings, and some classic Tiara Craft, great quality metallic components to go with our lovely beads. So let's take a look at first what they have here listed as the Gleam Craft ball and socket clasps. These are in an 8 millimeter size, and there's 2 pieces included. All right, so here we go. Those are those 2 clasp sets. If you haven't worked with these yet, they're just super simple. They snap together just by popping that through, and it stays pretty secure until you work that back open. Really simple design. I think they're great for bracelets, especially because they're easy to put on, especially when you're trying to put them on yourself. Minimalistic design and just a loop there on either side so you can add that directly into your beadwork. They've also included a pair of ear wires. These are the crescent hooks with loop, a 19 millimeter size, another minimalistic design. And these are in a beautiful antique copper brushed appearance. I love their really simple and graceful looking shape. Next up is a set of the Tiara Cast links. These are in the Oasis design, and I've one turned over a different way than the other so you can see how they look on both sides. Both sides are beautiful. The one just having a little bit more of the dotted detail on the top, and those 2 open loops right there, you can use those to directly stitch these in as gorgeous endings for your beadwork, and pretty much use these little guys in place of beads, which just add such a nice polish and elevate the designs when you use these really fun and unique components. Up next is a Tiara Cast button. This is in the bamboo design, as you can see. Press there on the top and a very simple loop back there at the bottom. You can use this, of course, for a clasp or a number of different beading projects. And I just love all the detail going on. The inset area is a little bit darker than the leafy sections that are more raised. and it's just slightly irregular. And then we wrap it up with our very last selection. These are the Tibetan style flat round beads. It's a set of 12. They are in the 8 mm size, and it's great to have some additional metallics, this time in the form of these pressed rounds with the dotted detail. Whether you're using these as a traditional spacer bead or as a special element in a bead weaving project or embroidery, they complement our selection in this collection very well, I think. Wow. So another stunning collection. I love what they have here. And again, it's just really unique, the colors that they chose this time around, but I definitely see how they go along with the inspiration photo. I love the idea behind the collection, the contrast, the fiery reds and the icy blues and matte clears, just gorgeous. I can't wait to see all the projects that come out of this collection as usual. It's always so fun to see what everyone puts together. I can't wait to work with it. Hopefully, I'll have something to share with you guys, and hopefully, you'll stay tuned to my channel for future tutorials to come. I always love playing around with the selections here, and I'm trying to get better again lately with doing that for you all. As an example, real quick, last month they came out with a really bright, colorful collection called Vintage Dreams. If you hadn't checked that out, you can find that on their website. And here are some pieces that came out of that just from me playing around with the contents of their collection. I do have a tutorial on my channel for the Vintage Dreams earrings. So if you haven't already checked that out, be sure to do that just a tiny ways back on my channel. This was just something fun I whipped up with a larger oval stone that they included. I don't have a tutorial for this one at this point, but it's just an example right now, at least, to show you some of the things you can do with similar selections of beads and to show you how inspiring these collections can really be, whether you like to play around on your own with them or follow along with lots of helpful and well thought out coordinating projects. So once again, the link to this collection is right down below the video. You can follow that link to go right on their website and also check out everything they have to offer separately as well if you wanted to pick up anything additionally. Let me know what you think of this collection. Feel free to leave a comment down below. It's always great to hear from you. And also feel free to share if there's anything here that inspires you that you might like to put together. If you have any ideas as you're watching this, feel free to share those down below for the benefit of others. Also, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a big thumbs up and share it with your other beading friends. And be sure to subscribe. So thank you all so much for being here with me for this unboxing. It's always much more fun to do this along with you guys. I hope you'll join me again real soon for more projects to come. And until next time, I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day. And as always, happy beading.